Nebraska recruiting has been heating up over the last couple hours. Of course, we saw Dawson Merritt flip yesterday, but Nebraska isn't done. Some other big time flips are on the way, along with a certain five-star prospect. So in today's video, I'm going to inform you on everything that's going on, what I'm hearing, who's going to commit soon, and so much more. So really quick, I'm fired up. If you are too, hit that like button. And hey, if you're new to the channel or a returning viewer, make sure to subscribe. I post Nebraska recruiting content just like this every single day. So if you're a diehard Nebraska fan, make sure to subscribe. You will be thanking yourself that you did. But without further ado, let's get into the news, talking about Nebraska recruiting. And man, oh man, it has been a crazy 24 hours after Dawson Merritt flipped to the Big Red, because he is not the last. There's going to be a couple other big time flips over the next couple of days, even in the next couple hours for the Huskers. So let's go over all of them. Number one, let's talk about Aiden Manitai. So Nebraska is back in on the recruiting process for Aiden. We talked about him a lot in the summer. This is the number one safety out of the state of Hawaii, high three-star prospect. He committed to Cal at the time. I told you guys, back in July, I actually really liked Nebraska's odds. Of course, the Huskers were the runner-up, but Nebraska is back in it for Aiden Manitai. Things are progressing very quickly. I would expect an announcement very, very soon from this guy. I mean, this is a pure football player, again, listed at 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, very productive, great ball skills, really good in coverage. He could play all over the field for Nebraska. But again, Aiden Manitai, watch out for him to flip to the Big Red. And the reason this is happening, purely because of Dylan Raiola. He's played an instrumental part in this recruiting process to have him reconsider the Big Red. And of course, we've seen the Cal Golden Bears struggle a little bit throughout their season. So Aiden Manitai is the first guy I want to talk about. Again, high three-star safety. Expect him to flip very, very soon. Things are almost a done deal in this recruiting process. And again, Aiden Manitai, I love this prospect. He's one of my guys, and that's the first guy who should be flipping very, very soon. Let's talk about Michael Terry, because that's been the huge conversation. Okay, Dawson Merritt's in this class. Finally, what does this mean for Michael Terry? Good things. I will tell you that the Michael Terry sweepstakes has been heating up. And I told you guys most recently last week that although he's been favored to commit to Texas for a couple months now, the longer that recruiting process plays out, the more like Nebraska's odds, because there's a reason he's not committing to Texas. There's a reason he hasn't done it so far. It's because there are some legit playing time concerns. The fact that they already have 2 5-star receivers in that class and a high 4-star. Okay, Michael Terry does not think he's going to play right away if he goes to Texas. That's not true if he goes to Nebraska. So the Huskers are back in on this recruiting process, especially with Dawson Merritt committing to the Big Red. Now, I heard a rumor last night that there's a certain Nebraska recruit telling people that Michael Terry is making a move next week. Again, I'll just put that out there. I'm not sure if that's true. I can't solidify that, but it is true that a Nebraska recruit is saying stuff like that. But it just tells you the smoke is back in the air around Michael Terry. Again, a recruiting process that's been pretty silent as of recent. Nebraska, I would say right now, is a leader in the clubhouse, and I think they will land him when it's all said and done. So Michael Terry back in the thick of it. I don't expect anything soon when it comes to him, but again, signing day is in less than a month, so technically it's going to be soon. But Michael Terry, I would say, is Nebraska lean as of right now. Some very positive movement around his recruiting process. Let's talk about Chase Loftin, because there's been some smoke around him as well. What's going on there? I stand with what I said about a week ago when it comes to Chase Loftin. He probably would have committed if we won versus UCLA on Sunday, but he's reconsidering his options. Chase Loftin was one of those guys who always wanted to go out of state. He really didn't want to stay in Nebraska. He kind of wanted to silence the noise and, go out to Florida, go out to Texas. So it was never really in the cards for him to stay, although he likes Nebraska, he likes Matt Rhule. Not saying that, of course, Nebraska's out of it, because they're still in the thick of things, but I just wouldn't expect anything soon when it comes to Chase Loftin. But really, watch out for Florida State. He's going to visit them again. And then Texas A&M was one of those schools that I think if Chase Loftin had his choice, he would be a Texas A&M Aggie. I'm just not sure if they have a spot for him right now in that recruiting class, at least the things I'm hearing. But Chase Loftin, of course, things are definitely intensifying around him. What's going on there? Is Nebraska going to flip him? Would not be shocked, but just not something that I expect to happen very, very soon. But some good energy around there. Chase Loftin is very happy with how this class is churning out for Nebraska. He's not happy with Florida State's. A lot of his buddies who committed there are gone. They flipped elsewhere just because of how Florida State's season has went. A couple other guys I want to talk about that are in talks about flipping. Jordan Allen, I talked about on the channel about 2 weeks ago. Louisville 3-star wide receiver commit, super close to the Raiola brothers. Now, there's word that he's probably going to flip to Georgia Tech if he is going to flip anywhere. Again, he's currently committed to Louisville. Nebraska has tried to go after him. It's just a matter of whether they can get him on campus next week for that Wisconsin game. I'm fine whether or not we get Jordan Allen or not. I think he would be a really good addition. I think, again, speed kills, good hands, really productive. The height is a question mark. He's listed at 5'7", but I will tell you this: we do need some more wide receivers in this class. We really only have Isaiah Mosey right now. Maybe throwing a guy like Jackson Carpenter, that's two. If you can add Michael Terry and you can add a guy like Jordan Allen, you feel a lot better. But again, as of right now, the notion around Jordan Allen is that Georgia Tech is the odds-on favorite to flip him. I don't think Nebraska gets his talents. Also want to talk about Cortez Mills. A lot of people have been asking me about him because that's a name that was recently mentioned in a lot of beat reporters articles. Cortez Mills, his name's been dropped. Do I like Nebraska's odds? I really don't. Again, he's pledged with Oklahoma for a couple months now. He locked down his commitment about a month later. So I don't love our odds of Cortez Mills, but I will say this: Nebraska has not stopped recruiting him. And then when talking with TJ Lateef and even his father, Cortez Mills is one of those guys that TJ's really tried to get in this class, really bonded with him at that spring game with a couple other visits. So, Nebraska staff's trying to recruit him, the players trying to recruit him. As of right now, I just don't think Cortez Mills is going to flip. My eyes just really aren't him. Now, am I saying it's not going to happen? No, because there's a lot of things that can happen between now and signing day, and there's a lot of positive developments around Nebraska recruiting. But Cortez Mills, I'd probably say, is the least likely of the guys I mentioned to flip to Nebraska. But that would be a big-time addition. Again, that's a 4-star receiver, top 200 on every single recruiting site. That dude's he makes plays. He makes plays, great hands. But I just don't think Nebraska has a legit chance at flipping him, at least not now. But we definitely want to watch out for him. So all in all, Aiden Manti, expect something to happen there very, very soon, very quickly. Nebraska's really made him a point of emphasis as of recent in this class. Can watch out for Michael Terry because things are looking very, very good there. Again, we talked about Dawson Merritt, Michael Terry all summer long. I'm just happy that both of them are looking to commit to the Big Red because those are two high character guys. That's number one. Those are two high character guys, but they're also great football players. Michael Terry is one of those legit 5-stars. Like, he is a 5-star through and through. He plays a million positions on the field for his high school football team, and he's just so productive. So Michael Terry, I think, gets in this class. Aiden Manti, I think, gets in this class. I'd say Chase Loftin's at about a 50-50. And then you might flip a guy in signing day that we aren't even talking about right now just because Nebraska's been working under the scenes to get another player in this class. So as of right now, we have a top 20 class. We have a really, really good cycle. And if we can top it off with a 5-star and a couple other 4-stars, oh my goodness, we are looking at a good 26 class as well. So, all right, guys, as of right now, we got to just win on the field and see what happens on signing day, but some good developments around Nebraska recruiting. Again, very happy that Dawson Merritt got in this class. He's a very nice guy. And again, so much more coming for the Big Red. All right, guys, let me know down below your thoughts around the Huskers and what we're doing right now on the recruiting front. Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far in the video, shout out to you. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, folks, go Big Red, go Rhule, and see you in the next one.